Hello everybody, today we go to make a nice tutorial together. This means that we learn a little bit the basic steps of the software aseprite. This software you can get on Steam. It's very cheap, so it has a great price, and additionally it's a very liked software. It runs perfectly also on very low-end laptops. So even if your laptop is maybe 5 years old, it runs perfectly. Additionally, it's a very simple software to learn. It can do really many things, so that's the great thing in the software, but it's very easy to learn. It's a very popular software, so I saw really many great artists and game designers, game developers who are using the software, so I can really only suggest everybody to get it. Today we learn really the basics. I try to keep the tutorial very simple. I will skip the complicated part so that if you should like it, we can continue and maybe next time go a bit deeper in the software. So let's start. The first thing that we go to see is here below where we have the layers. What are layers? You can imagine that each layer of your file is something like a plate of glass on which you are painting. And on top of each of that one, you can add another layer. So you are adding a new transparent piece of glass on the top of the existing one, and you paint again, and you continue like this. So imagine them like transparent pieces of glass on which you are painting and drawing. Here we can change the name making a double click, and here you can change the name if you like. The other things over there we will go to see in our other tutorial, so let's keep it simple. If you make a right mouse click, you have several options. We skip mostly everything except new layer. If you click on new layer, you can see that you have created layer 2. This is again like a new piece of glass on the top of the first one. Let's try this out. I go here on the right side on the pencil tool. With that one you can draw, and I draw any shape here on layer 1. Selecting the layer and highlighting them means that you are working exactly on that layer. So let's try to work with the lowest one, with the first one that we had. Let's make a nice drawing, something like this for example. Here we have the opacity of the brush. We can turn it to 100%. Let's go back, Ctrl Z, and let's draw again a new shape. So you see this is the full amount of transparency. The opacity can be changed over there. So this one we go to see also another time. However, I mean, it's just going there and setting a other number. If we go on layer 2 and we choose our other color, let's make it green, we can go to draw a other shape, and you can see now, after I made this shape, you are able to isolate each of those layers clicking on the little eye symbol. If you click there, you hide or unhide your layers. You can also unhide everything if you like. You can hide or unhide whenever you like. The lock here allows you to lock the layer so that you are not able to draw anymore. You see, my mouse now has this sign over there. It means I'm not able to affect this layer anymore until I uncheck again the symbol over there. So this is something, of course, very handy when you have many layers and you don't want to destroy what you have made already something by accident. It can happen very easily, so we go to lock and unlock whenever we need it. Now, let's go to see what else we are able to do. First of all, if you scroll your mouse wheel, you can zoom in and zoom out. If you hold down the mouse wheel button, so if you press it, you can pan everything. Now, as I told you before, let's go to undo with Ctrl Z. Ctrl Z again. Let's create a new layer, just to have 3. New layer, number 3. You can see perfectly that our layers are hiding what is underneath, because if I go to paint this green and I go to layer 1 or layer 2, it's the same, and I go to red color and I make a long stroke over there, you can see underneath we have this red long line and it's covered by the green shape. Now, let's go to see a few other tools. On the right side here, we have several tools on this toolbar that we go to discover now. Let's undo again and let's go to keep just one layer for now. Let's make a shape, just a random shape again. And let's go to see these tools here. This is the masking tool. You have different shapes, which can be very useful. And here we have several options which are related to this tool over there. We make only 2 of them today. The first one is the simple selection tool. If I make a selection like this, and I try to make a new one whenever this is clicked, it means it deletes automatically the previous one and creates a new one. Do you see? So, Alt 1, new one, Alt 1, new one. If you like to delete completely all the masks, you hold Ctrl and press D. D like delete. Here we go. This here is able to allow you to create more than one mask. Mask number 1 and mask number 2. You see, this is also very, very useful because many times you need to mask more portions of your drawing. Now, what is the mask doing? Let's try it out. I choose a nice blue color. I go back to my pencil tool and I draw something. Can you see? I'm holding the left mouse button, but it's affecting only the region inside my mask. Let's undo this, Ctrl Z, and let's see what will happen if I invert the mask, because many times you select something and then you have to make an inversion, so to select the opposite. All the things related to the mask are here in select. So select, imagine that instead of select there's written mask. Mask, inverse. Now you can see a new border also here. Let's try to draw now. Do you see? Now it's not affecting anymore the part which was affected before because I have inverted the mask. Ctrl Z for undo, or Ctrl D to destroy the mask. Here we go. You have noticed that when I go to press for a longer time on the icons, you see popping out a few new icons. It's not everywhere, but several of them have more options, as you can see. Here we have also the possibility for a circular mask. If you make just a mouse drag holding the left mouse button, you create an elliptical shape. With Ctrl, the shape starts from the clicking point where you began to make the mask. With Shift, you make also a perfect circle. So Ctrl and Shift, you make a circle from the beginning point. There we go. Ctrl D. We have here a lasso tool, which is really very, very useful. With that one, basically, you hold just down the mouse button and you draw. Here we go. So basically, you draw the mask. With the other here, the one which is called polygonal lasso tool, you hold down, drag, leave your mouse, drag again, holding it, leave your mouse, hold down, leave your mouse, hold down. You see, holding down, whenever you hold down, you create a new corner basically. So that one is also useful if you have striped lines, for example. The next one, this is also a very useful one. It is the magic wand tool. It basically recognizes similar shapes or colors. In that way, for example, we can make a click here on the red and it selects everything what is red over there. Or this one here, for example. So this is also very, very useful. Let's take also the little eyes here of the smiley. And let's go to see what else we are able to do. If you go now to select the move tool, you are able to move around your object. So this is something very, very useful because many times we have to make a drawing but change the position of it. If you press Ctrl C and Ctrl V, so copy paste, you duplicate it. Ctrl C, Ctrl V, and just move it. Because in the beginning, when you make a Ctrl C, Ctrl V, basically the shape is on the same position. That's why you don't see two of them. But there are always two when you make Ctrl C, Ctrl V. Yeah, make it again, Ctrl C, Ctrl V, and here we go. 4 nice smileys. Let's continue over there. So let's go to clean everything. This is something that you do with the eraser tool. I can set here on the top the size. Also of my pencil tool, I can change the size. You see, a big one or 1 pixel. Let's go to the eraser tool and let's erase everything. Here we go. Let's go over there. Let's skip this one here and let's go to the picker. So this here is able to pick the colors that you have used before. Let's try it out. Let's go to a special blue color, this one here. Let's make a drawing and let's change the color and make something else. Here we go. Now, if you like to get again the same color, of course, manually it will be very hard to get exactly the same color. But with the picker, you go over there, you go to click on the color, and you will see automatically here the color is changing. Here we go. That's exactly the color that I have used over there. Now, paint bucket tool allows you to paint everything in one color, like this, for example. Important is to have or an empty space or a closed shape. Let's try it out. I go now to close the shape and I go now to the tool and click over there. You see, it goes to paint everything with that color. Let's go back. If you hold down, there's another tool. It creates a shading with different, let's say, graduations of colors, but this we go to see another time because there are several things to explain. The next tool here is the line tool. Just hold down, drag, and leave the mouse button. Here we go, so easy. So this is a very handy tool. And the next one over there is a tool which allows you to make curves. Let's change color maybe. I hold down, leave the mouse button, and now I can click 2 times, like this, for example. I do it again. Hold down for the length, leave it, choose the first curve. You can make also a double click so this remains, but if you make just one click, you can create a sort of S shape. The next one here is the rectangle tool. It allows you to make nice rectangles or fillet or, for example, or fillet or empty shapes. Same thing for circles or ellipses. Here we go. This tool here is the contour tool. That one is so easy to use and so helpful. Let's try it out. The opacity is the visibility of the tool. Let's put it to 100%. And now I draw a shape. Drawing the shape and closing it and leaving the mouse button automatically makes this shape become a full shape, like this. I do it again. Here we go. Here we go. So easy to use and so helpful. This one here we can also see quickly, but they are not too useful. The first one is able to blur things, but since we are not using this too much in the field of pixel art, this we can also skip. The next one is even less useful. It's like exploding everything, and you see, you go to make a big mess over there. It could be maybe for certain effects, but I would not use it really. So this is the first tutorial that I like it to do together with you. I'm a game developer who made already a game on Steam. It's not a pixel game. If you like, you can check it out. It's called Remote Life. It's a shmup or space shooter. It's made with 3D graphics, so it's very different from pixel art. But I'm doing also other game in this moment. Actually, I'm doing two other games. One of them is pure pixel art, and you can see here now a few of the images. So it's a platform game with a nice story and beautiful pixel art. It reminds me always, of course, my city, Florence in Italy. That's why the game is called Tuscany, Cypresses Under the Sun, because of course here in Tuscany we have a lot of cypresses. So this game is a pure Italian game, as you can see. I hope that you enjoyed my tutorial. I will make other tutorials, and I really hope that you subscribe, because through the subscription I can go to see if you like the tutorial, and I can go on to make other tutorials. So thank you very much for listening to me, and see you next time.